Hello everyone, I'm your host Walt Schamel with the Florida Aviation Network. We are broadcasting live from the Aerospace Discovery section of the Florida Air Museum located in the Sun and Fun Complex in Lakeland, Florida. With me is our co-host today, Michelle Cassidy. Hi Michelle.
Hi, it's great to be back here on the set.
Well, we're glad to have you back because I know you're real busy. You're a senior in high school now.
Yeah, I haven't been here all week. We've been at Sun and Fun just because of schoolwork. I'm actually a senior now, so I'm focusing towards the end of my year, and I'm also doing college classes, so those are really important. But I'm glad to be here at Sun and Fun because nothing's like it. You know, there's all the planes and activity and everything like that. It's so much fun, and I'm glad to be back.
Great. You said you had a lot of activity around here. What have you seen?
Well, I was just over at the flight line the other day, and there was we interviewed him. His name is Bob, I believe. He was Bob or something like that, and he did these amazing tricks. I was with Brianne, our other host, and we were just amazed by it. And we also got to go out and see everybody interacting and seeing all the planes. It was so much fun.
Did you go through the exhibit hangars?
I didn't. We didn't get a chance. I wish we did. It got really late and everything, so we just decided, it's time to pack up and go home, because sometimes it just gets like that,
Well, I've noticed there's so much to do around here.
Yes.
I try to go through the exhibit hangars, and I haven't made it all the way through.
Yeah.
There's too many booths in there, and I want to stop and talk to each person
Yeah.
and see what's going on. And did you get a chance to do any flying while you were here?
We were planning to take flight, but it just didn't work out. But I really want to do it because the last time I flew was when we were actually back here at Sun and Fun doing Teacher's Classroom in the Sky, which was so much fun, seeing all the teachers getting to interact with the planes and everything. That was cool.
Seems to me you wanted to try to get a balloon ride this morning.
Yeah, we were just running a little bit late and everything. It just didn't. Again, nothing worked out, but it's still great to be here. Though nothing works out perfectly as it's supposed to, it seems like everything just comes together the way it's supposed to, even though I don't experience everything I want to experience, there's so much here to experience that you never are bored. You're never anything less than what it should be.
Well, I noticed they've got 3 pages of forums for this week.
Yeah.
And it seems to me that when I read that, I want to be in 6 forums at the same time. And you just can't do that yet, but maybe in the future we'll be able to split like an amoeba.
Yeah.
And we'll be able to attend 2 or 3 things.
So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on today too. Even here in the set, we have a lot of interviews coming up. What are some of those? Could you elaborate on that? Because I've been a little bit behind, being in school and everything. So why don't you just tell us a little bit of what's going on today?
So what's been going on the set?
On the set, yeah, because I've been gone. I haven't seen anything, and I kind of feel like I'm missing out, though.
Well, we've had a lot of pilots here and crew members, company representatives. We had Tempest here that is a sponsor of Aviation Group, and they've put in, I believe, 3 scholarships this year.
Wow.
For training. It's Able Flight, and they take people with disabilities and give them flight training. In fact, one of their members, can't remember her first name, darn it, at my age, but I believe her last name is Cox. She went through the program, and she's going to work on her ATP.
Wow, that's so cool.
Well, that's amazing.
Yeah.
She was born without arms.
Wow.
She can do everything you can do with arms, she can do with her feet.
Yeah.
I asked her how she flew an airplane, basically an unmodified airplane. And she says she flies it with her feet.
Really?
She doesn't see it as a handicap. She sees it as a challenge. And that makes a big difference in attitude with people. Do you have a handicap or do you have a challenge? And it's the attitude of we can do it makes a big difference.
Yeah, I think so. That's definitely. I never phrased it that way, but I think that's a good way. It's not it's only a challenge, not a disability. I never found the right word to find it though, but that's a good word. I like that.
Well, each one of us have some challenges in our life. I know that you're getting ready to go to college.
Yeah.
And you're going to be pretty busy while you're there.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going locally?
I'm actually going to UCF, University of Central Florida, over in Orlando. I'm actually going to be moving over there. I'm not doing dorms because I can't really do small spaces. So I got an apartment and I'm ready to start my classes in the summer.
If you're at UCF, does that mean that you may not be here next spring?
I know, I'm so sad. I really might not because by that time it's going to be in the spring semester and I don't know. I really want to be here because I've been here for the past 3 years and I've seen so much going on and everything. It's just, I feel like that now that I'm going into college, I should focus all of my work into my studies. But at the same time, I'm going to miss it here. I really enjoy it.
Well, I'm a firm believer in education, and the more education you have, the better off you are. And it's one of those things that nobody can take away from you.
Yeah.
It opens up a lot of doors. I'm an engineer. I've got a PhD. But fortunately, I learned to fly at a young age, and I've been doing it for 58 years because if I couldn't fly, I'd have to go out and get an honest job.
Well, you still enjoy what you do. I think that because when I go off to college now, I know exactly what I'm doing, and I'm going to do something that makes me happy and that I enjoy. And like you're doing flying, you've done flying, which you enjoy, and it's become your job. So,
absolutely.
I think there's that saying, what is it? If you do what you love, you'll never have to work in a day in your life, or something like that.
Every day you get up, you look forward to the day and the things you can do. Yeah, we're fortunate, aren't we, that we can change jobs, we can do what we want to do, and if we change our goal in life, easy.
Yeah.
I've always enjoyed the ability just to jump back and forth between engineering and aviation as time passed. So what are you going to do after college?
Well, I plan to get my undergraduate in communications and sciences disorders at UCF, and then when I graduate from UCF, I plan to go to USF, University of South Florida, and in Tampa, and get my doctorate in audiology.
Audiology. That must be one of those long words. Do you say, "Can you hear me"?
I feel like I will be saying that just quite a little bit.
Yeah, audiology means a bunch of different things to me.
Yeah.
Specifically in school, what will you be studying?
In school, I'll be studying, there's a lot of works with kids and older people because there's stuff like deafness and hard of hearing. People can be born deaf, or when they get older, they become hard of hearing and they soon eventually may become deaf. And there's tons of disorders involved with that. And I myself have central auditory processing disorder, which is how I got into audiology because the audiologist who helped me was so helpful. Like, she made me realize what I want to do and what I want to be, and that finding out about this made it so much harder. Like you said, it's not a disorder that one has, it's a challenge. And, I really want to help people, and her making me realize what I want to do and how I can do that really helped me. So it kind of sparked that interest. And I still want to be involved with flying and all of that because it's so much cool just to see those planes out there that maybe one day after I get my doctorate in audiology that I might actually become a pilot, It's one of those things that might happen later in life, but either way, I'm still going to be able to do it.
Whatever keeps the motivation up there.
Yeah.
I had a student one time that was 71 years old, walked in the door and said, "I put my kids through school and I got some money now and I've always wanted to learn to fly." And I said, "Let's get it in the airplane and go have fun." And he got his private license. From there on, he left the area and I don't know what happened beyond that. But he certainly was enthusiastic. So age doesn't have anything to do with it.
It's definitely motivation, drive, enthusiasm, all of these things put together that make it so you are motivated to do something. And I feel that a lot of these pilots that we've interviewed in the past years that we've been here, they've been so enthusiastic. They've had that drive. They've had that courage just to go out there and fly because it's something they enjoy. It's something they love. And I really respect that.
Well, going into audiology with particularly pilots, most of us are deaf.
Yes.
I have a lot of time in the old round engines, and they just banged away up there hour after hour. We didn't wear headsets. We didn't have ear protection. And, well, finally, I'm afraid that I'm down to having to have a hearing aid. And somebody says something to me, I turn to my wife and say, what'd they say? What'd they say? So she's my hearing aid.
Yeah, it seems to happen quite a lot, which I'm quite surprised because I never really thought that I could relate flying with audiology, but it seems to happen where I've come across people who been to an audiologist and have done stuff like that. We even have a guest today, I believe. Is it today? Dr. Bush. He's today.
Yes, Dr. Bush.
He's an ophthalmologist who works with sight and all of that stuff. And as people get older, they start to lose their sight. And he helps them achieve their goals, even though they can't actually see. You know, he works with that, helps them, and so that behind that they can actually see, and which I think is amazing.
Well, you don't have to have 20/20 vision to be a pilot.
Yeah.
You just have to have corrected vision.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, since you're going into audiology, they think a person's deaf, they can't hear.
Yeah.
Well, yes, we can. We can hear in one particular range, or we can hear in a higher range, but we can't hear in the middle range sometimes.
Yeah.
And so you'll be able to determine what the range is and what we need to do to fix that.
And it's not even that. It's just most of the time they may not hear completely. They may be completely deaf, but they still be able to feel vibrations. They can tell when music's playing and how people yawn and stuff like that, which I think is amazing. And they have American Sign Language, which is their own language that they've developed, which it just shows that nothing can stop you if you don't have something. It's not a loss. It's more of a challenge, like you said. I love that saying now that you said it.
Well, you've certainly got a big challenge coming up with you, going through finishing high school.
Yeah.
And the senior year is certainly the busiest, and then you're going to jump right into college. What are you going to do this summer?
Well, over the summer, I'm actually moving into my apartment because I start college classes at the end of June. And so I got my apartment to go to Orlando, and I'm moving in May 15th. And I'm going to be just looking at the area, trying to figure out how everything lives. Because Orlando is definitely a different place than here in Lakeland. Like, it's a whole different world, a whole different culture. And I think that experience that, and there's also places like Universal, Disney, and I don't think I'll ever be bored over there in Orlando, to be honest.
There's a lot of things to do over there.
Yeah.
Just going to the Mouse House
Yeah.
can take several days. I like to go over there myself once in a while. The school being over there in Orlando, will you drive back and forth from home occasionally, or are you pretty much there because of studies?
I want to come back home, and like see family, of course, and do all that stuff. But there are people here, like friends and, of course, family who live here, and I'm, of course, coming back to see them and all of that other stuff. So I don't think I'll ever technically leave Lakeland, but it's just a stepping stone to the next journey.
Well, there's a whole world out there. You never know, as time goes by, where the job is going to take you.
Yeah.
And I can tell from your interest in travel and going to see exciting things and just different things
Yeah.
that you'll probably be one of those world travelers before too long.
What I'm glad about audiology is that I'm going into is that you're never truly, you can go anywhere really. You can, like being a pilot, you can go anywhere you want and you don't have to follow really any sort of rules. I'll be able to work part-time, and so I won't be held down to one single thing. And again, that's one of the best thing I found out, which I can't wait. I can't wait.
Well, one thing about audiology, sometimes you can just carry the box with you and go out and make house calls. I know there's a lot more involved than just that.
Yeah, there is, but you know, I see this as not the ending of my childhood beginning of starting something completely brand new and being my own person, becoming independent, which I can't wait. I can't wait. Most people are apprehensive and nervous about going out into the world, but I'm just excited.
Again, you look forward to it instead of looking back at the time.
Yeah.
Well, you sound like you've pretty well got your life planned.
Kind of, pretty much. I have a great mom who helps me, and she helps me figure out what I want to do, and she's just that support system. My whole family really is. They're a support system that is always going to be there and always going to help me. Like, even with being out here in Sun and Fun, I get to do what I love, being in front of a camera and seeing all the planes and everything, hosting, interviewing. It's so much fun, and it's something that I want to keep doing, no matter what.
Well, you know, there's a show next year, and here in Sun and Fun, there's a lot of shows during the year.
Yeah.
We have a wide variety of shows. Most of them are aviation oriented, but they do have a dog show.
Yeah.
In fact, they have a car show, and
Yeah.
there's even a car show going on right now, today and tomorrow. I was passing some of the cars, and the title was Pre-War. Well, I wasn't sure which war it was. Looking at the car, I thought maybe it was World War I, but I think it was a 1925 Chevrolet. I'm kind of interested in old cars.
Yeah.
Getting older, you get more interested in a little history. Unfortunately, I was listening to two younger people talking, and they were discussing some items of history. I remember them as current events. But I guess for you, you know, World War II, Vietnam, Korea, Asian history.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at what's going on now in Afghanistan, Egypt, all that sort of thing. An interest worldwide, and you're going to get a lot of that. Of course, you won't be taking just one course in college, but you'll take a whole bunch. Are you interested in a sub goal?
A sub goal. I'm not really sure. I really just want to travel, see the world. I want to do acting, be in front of a camera. I want to work behind the camera too, which is a lot of fun. I love like the little technical stuff. I love being able to look into something and see the deeper meaning of it. So I like the fact that I can be able to do that. Like with acting, I can do that. With any other thing, you really can just look into a deeper meaning of it, which is cool. I like that. It's like a little puzzle.
Sound like you might be a practicing psychologist, huh?
I actually find psychology very entertaining. Like, I like to see how the mind works and everything, but I just can't, I can't, I feel like, I don't know. It is cool. I might minor it in, I don't know.
Well, anything to do with people can be fascinating.
Yes.
Because there's no two people that are the same. They all have different approaches to life, different attitudes, different interests, and we'll see what happens in the future with us.
Yeah, oh my gosh. It's going to be weird looking back like 20 years from now when I was doing this and seeing where I will be in the future and then here. I don't know, maybe it'll be better, maybe it'll be worse. I don't know, but it'll still be cool to look back on it.
Working with people is a lot of fun, and you sure see a lot of different people here from different walks of life.
Yeah, definitely.
And they're all smiling.
Yeah. It's so cool. You see everyone at Sun and Fun from different age ranges, from young little kids to old adults, and you just see that here the fascination never ends. Like, it's always constant and flowing, and you can feel it in the atmosphere, which I love.
Do you have a particular airplane you like?
I'm not sure. I mean, I've seen so many out there, I just can't put my finger on it, to be honest. Like, there's the big ones, which are really cool and amazing, and there's the little small ones, which are cute and really cool to see that even something as small or something as big as that can do all these amazing sorts of things.
No preference between round engines and jets and that sort of thing?
No, I think again, there's no particular preference I get because they're so cool. They're so like there's such a vast amount of range between planes. There's no one particular plane. There's models of planes, of course, but there's no like exact model that is like similar to one another. Like, of course, they have their similarities, of course, but like they all look so different. They all have their unique flair to it.
Well, they've all got their characteristics. Some are tail draggers. Some have nose wheels. Some got big engines. Some have little ones. One wing, two wings. Everything is different. That's what makes it fun. We've seen a lot of changes to aircraft over the years.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are here. We have some, well, we call them antiques today. Right here in the museum, we have a lot of different aircraft. They're all home builds. And people say, well, you know, and we look at production airplanes, but why would anybody build an airplane? Fun, challenge.
I was actually, before I changed my major, I was going to be an engineer. I love looking at the little parts that make things. So yeah, it's really cool to see the whole spectrum of aviation and everything. I like it. I really like it.
You know, it's not just, aviation isn't just pilots. So we've got a lot of mechanics, we have ground crews, we've got a lot of airlines, pilots here, airline people. In fact, there was a job fair here a couple of days ago, and there's a lot of airlines hiring pilots right now. We're going through another one of the pilot shortages, and we talk about that, but what we don't really talk about much is the fact that we have mechanic shortages, line crew shortages, staff shortages. So there's a lot of positions open in aviation today.
Well, there's also the school down the road, Central Florida Aerospace Academy. I used to be a student there, and there's a lot of, like, it's growing every single year, which means that even though there is a shortage of pilots now, there's still that interest. There's still that people who want to be pilots, mechanics. I used to have so many friends over in that school where they wanted to do all these sorts of different things with aviation, with other sorts of, in particular, jobs like cars or anything else like that, really. It all just happens. And it's all there at that school to help enlighten the future.
Well, across the street we have the Central Florida Aviation Academy.
Yep.
They've got an excellent program, and they teach their students to fly. They also have a maintenance program, as well as other subsections in aviation. Very large school, not easy to get into, and you got to keep your grades up to stay there. But some of the airplanes that are in the museum are being repaired, rebuilt by the students. In fact, there's one over on the other side of the museum that's being recovered by the students, and they're doing an excellent job on that. Of course, they've got certified mechanics that work with them, make sure that it meets all the FAA standards.
I love how hands-on it can be. Like, you learn so much more from actually being involved in the process of actually reconstructing, finding out little bits of information about it, which is so cool.
You interested in rebuilding a V12 engine?
I don't know. Maybe if there's someone there to help me.
Well, Michelle, thank you very much for being here and helping us at the Florida Aviation Network to celebrate the 41st annual Fly-In and Exposition at Sun and Fun. And thank you for being here and joining us this session, and we hope to see you on the next one.